Hello, I'm Mariana, and in this video we are going to have a look at various treeless saddles that Better Saddles stock, and I'm going to show you how they fit different horses. The first saddle we are going to have a look at is the Mölndal Industries Holistic Supreme. This saddle looks exactly like a treed saddle, but it is totally flexible, and on the underside it has proper gullet and foam panels, and the gullet will give a good spine clearance. This saddle has a solid front arch which is adjustable, and it will suit any width of horse and any shape of horse really. Okay, this horse has quite a flat back, not much wither, and he's quite wide. But this saddle suits, like I said, the front arch can be adjusted to fit any type. Right, the next saddle we are going to look at is the Smart saddle, made in Derbyshire by the Solution Saddles. Like the Mölndal, the Smart saddle also has foam panels and a proper gullet. One limitation it has, in my opinion, is that without a proper padding, it is not an ideal saddle for high-withered horses. Right, the Smart saddle doesn't need any extra padding like treeless pads, and I'm just going to show you that for this horse, this saddle is fine because he hasn't got much wither, so you wouldn't need any additional padding at all. Right, when we have a look at the Smart saddle on this horse, who has a higher wither and is more like an A-framed horse, we can see that the saddle sits quite close, very close to the wither, and you will need some additional padding on this horse to lift it off the withers. This saddle is the Solution, and this is the freestyle dressage model, which is the gulleted dressage version, unlike the Energist, which doesn't have a gullet. It also has a cut-back pommel to allow room for the withers. The Solution saddles should always be used with a dorsal supplement pad, which is similar to a ProLite pad. It will help distribute the weight and also lift the saddle off the spine. And this saddle is the Heather Moffett Vogue, and which is the flagship of the Phoenix saddles. It also comes with a gullet and foam panels. It actually has leather pockets, and the foam panels are inside the pockets. And this saddle will suit most types of horses, really flat-backed as well as high-withered horses. The Vogue doesn't need any special padding. It can be just used with the normal high-withered cotton saddle cloth or an unda. And it will mold to the horse's shape, and also when the rider sits on the saddle, it will cradle the horse, and it has a very comfortable seat with layers of memory foam in it. And this is another Heather Moffett saddle. This is the Phoenix. This is a GP version, and it is similar to the Vogue on the underside, with leather pockets with foam panels inside. The Phoenix is more suited for flat-backed horses rather than high-withered horses. It has a flatter seat than the Vogue, but it also has the same setback stirrup bars as the Vogue. Again, the Phoenix doesn't need any extra treeless pads. Unless you have a very high-witted horse, then you need to lift the front of the saddle up with a pad. On this horse, who is a flat-backed horse, it sits well and level and is fine on. But I will show you the saddle on the high-witted horse, and you will see that it is a little bit wobbly. The Phoenix on a higher witted horses, if you use it without any extra padding, will sit quite low on the withers. And it also tends to rock and create more pressure at the back. So you need to have a wither pad or a front riser pad type to lift it off the front. But ideally, for this type of horse, you would choose the Vogue rather than the Phoenix. The next saddle is the Sensation, which is made by Nickers Saddlery in Canada. It is one of the most lightweight treeless saddles on the market, and it has a small gullet and foam panels, felt panels on both sides, but the gullet is not as substantial as in the other saddles we've just looked at. This saddle is not recommended for high-witted horses because the front of it is quite solid and quite low. The Sensation needs to be used with a proper treeless saddle pad, which has shock-absorbing foam or support on both sides of the spine. Here we have a ski toe pad, which is shaped for the Sensation. The next saddle to look at is the Torsion, and here we have the Deluxe model, which is the GP saddle with knee rolls, which will be suitable for jumping as well. This saddle does not have a proper gullet like the other ones, so you must use a treeless saddle pad, just like an Equitex pad or some of the other treeless pads. Here we have the Equitex pad, which is again shaped for the Torsion. And the next saddle is the Barefoot. This is the Cherokee model, which is a GP saddle, but as a difference to the Cheyenne, this one has detachable knee rolls. The Barefoot saddles have a small gullet and shock-absorbing panels on both sides of the spine. The Cherokee model especially is well suited for even high-witted horses, and the pommel insert at the front, just like in the Torsion previously, is an exchangeable, and you can also put a soft insert in. Despite the Barefoot having a gullet, we still recommend the use of a treeless pad, and what we tend to recommend is the Grandeur pad. Inside the pockets there are foam inserts here. The next saddle we look at is the Star Trek. This is the Comfort model, and all the Star Trek saddles have Velcro on panels which you can adjust to your horse's back shape, and the front arch also comes in various widths, and it has two options for stirrup leather attachment. And despite the gullet, a small gullet, we still recommend you use a treeless pad with this saddle or a Pro-Lite pad or similar. Here we have a Grandeur pad again, which fits the shape of the Comfort quite nicely. The Freeform saddles are made in Italy. This model is an older model of the Classic, and it is on a short base. The Freeform saddles are quite flat on the underside. They don't have panels or a gullet like some of the other saddles, so a treeless saddle pad is a must with these saddles. With the Freeform you can use any of the treeless saddle pads. Here we have the half pad, but you can also use a Grandeur or some of the other ones. This was a brief introduction to various treeless saddles. I hope it has been useful. If you want to know anything more about them, please visit our website or contact the number on your screen.